Matt in the car, martial arts training in the car. What's up, my friends? I feel like it's been a while. There's been a lot going on, but all good stuff. But I want to get right to topic because I've been thinking about a topic for a while. I've been wanting to get back into Matt in the car. But I've been like topic dead. I had so many topics, so many things in my brain. But there's one that's been kind of on my mind for a long time. And I figured it's a kind of a thought process on that Mitt Holding or pad holding is pretty stupid, and we shouldn't do it, but there is time to do it. I'll get to that. But I want to start off with why this became a hot topic for me, or something that, not a pet peeve, but along that lines. And I was watching a Facebook video of someone I knew doing mitt work. And, you know, good athlete, good school, all that type of stuff. And it's the second time I've seen this where I swear to God, I've seen the exact video like done by Mayweather or someone, where someone's taking them through this elaborate mitt holding sequence of punching, blocking, all the different things. Bah, 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 bah. It just looks like a choreographed dance. No one's moving. The fighter's chin is way up. The punches are halfway out. It's just, and it's not just this one person who's doing it, but it's like the world of mitt holding somehow. And what I think really pissed me off about this video, not pissed me off, but like, yeah, it kind of pissed me off, it got me disappointed, was you could see it was about the mitt holder, not the person hitting the mitts. What I mean by that is the mitt holder was being cool. He had this elaborate sequence. You could see him almost dancing like he's having fun out there. Absolutely, fighter, you know, if you're working with your fighter, there's a relationship going, having fun is part of it. But it looked like it wasn't about the fighter. It looked about like look how good I am at holding mitts. And you know what? Excuse me, that was early. Excuse me, you know what time it is. I feel embarrassed. I probably shouldn't do that. I'm sorry. You know, Matt in the car would expect this. I've debated doing these things live. If you guys want to see me do these things live, you know, leave a comment below, because I debated it. You know, we have 15, 16 minutes every day, or, you know, whatever day, whatever schedule that, all right, just get in the car with me and we go for a little drive together to work. Talk about martial arts stuff. Try not to look at the camera too much, but we're at stoplights we can. So, yeah, going back to, you know, the mitt holding, you have to be very, one, I think if you do it in class, like if you run a martial arts school and mitt holding is part of your class, think about what you've just done. You've made your students learn a skill that's probably not what they signed up for, probably not what they want to do. And then you've wasted half of their training time on that skill. And then you've wasted half of your teaching time on teaching that skill, because mitt holding is just as hard as fucking martial arts sometimes. So why do these schools do it? And I don't care if it's a variation of mitt holding where you're using like your gloves as mitts, like Dwayne Bang Ludwig. Man, what a phenomenal Muay Thai program. I actually subscribed to his Muay Thai program for a long time, for many years. Yeah, there's a few guys that I subscribe to on a regular basis. I've subscribed, my longest, Eddie Bravo. $7.99 a month for his, I think, Nibiru Forum is called, on 10th Planet. And especially when I was going through my deep half guard phase, as well as my omoplata phase, and just guard in general, I think Eddie Bravo is a very intelligent, you know, smart martial artist. Even though he's a stoner and all that stuff. Hey, we don't know all the stoners out there. But he's just a smart martial artist. Bazooka Joe. I think Bazooka Joe Kickboxing out of Canada. Very talented fighter, but a very talented coach. Does an excellent job explaining. He has some great drills on Bazooka Joe Kickboxing. I love watching him a lot. He's got really good information. And like I said earlier, Dwayne Bang Ludwig, I think he has a lot of great drills. No, his partner drills, like it's weird. His mitt holding drills it's almost a blend of mitt holding and defense together. Now, I have to give it to him, Boss Root, and whoever's contributed to that system, because they've done a good job with it. It really is a fucking solid program. From a consumer side, you know, I've never taught the Ludwig program, but or been involved with that in any capacity. He's someone I would absolutely love to meet, geek out on, talk to, because I think he's just his Muay Thai, his Dutchy kickboxing, he's just fucking phenomenal. He's a great fighter, great martial artist and teacher too. Yeah, so those are like three that I watch a lot. Now I've just bought just about every martial arts type of content you can imagine. So I understand that watching videos and leveling up your game and watching someone else's Mitt Holding routine online is good. You know, if it inspires you, if it's puzzle solving. And that's what I think about, like, if you are going to be looking for drills and things online, what you should be. That's a response. It's like going to the library and studying. Do you want to be, actually, a funny conversation I had with my mother. We're talking about education. I never finished college. And my mom is my parents are teachers, my cousin is a teacher, my aunt and uncle are teacher. Education is an important thing for my family. And I try to express to her, even though there's no book learned knowledge to a certain degree, martial arts, like, it is an education. You are learning. You have to study. You have to, you don't just get to show up to class and get better. You'll eventually get better. Just like going to school. If you were in elementary, middle school, or high school, whatever, or college, you just showed up to class and that was the only requirement. You didn't have to take a test. Yeah, you learn something. You get knowledge, sure. And people do that. Or do you show up for class and do the required reading at home, the drills, or the little extra stuff, study groups or whatever. So there's always ways we can fast track our education. Martial arts the same way. I think you've heard me talk about this before. So studying and researching Mitt Holding and things like that are great, but bringing it into a class environment where it's not you one-on-one anymore. And when you're doing one-on-one, yeah, I do my Mitt Holding one-on-one, but I do it because it's one of the closest ways I can mirror an actual fight. Not to make people do elaborate combinations. In fact, I think a lot of my Mitt Holding work, I like to shut the fuck up and move and call things, give people set parameters of what I'm looking for. Suddenly I have to put that on video. Our Mitt Holding really came from when John Lebo, Mike Simon, and I really spent a lot of time together in TRITAC development phase in those first initial years. And a lot of the flows that we developed that included a lot of elbows, the punches, the frames, and knees, and kicks. A lot of that in the beginning was we had to figure it out in mitts. We needed to have a sequence of flow going. Well, it's kind of weird. Sometimes we figured out a person first, sometimes we figured out mitts first, or figure out a person how we do this on mitts, or vice versa. So it was a really good way for us to collaborate and think tank. But when it came down to training, if I'm learning to fighting another individual is a point. Why am I fighting mitts that are way far out, too far away, or this is my ultimate pet peeve. Next time you watch Mitt Holding, and I get to see Mitt Holding a lot. Anytime we go to MMA fight, 12, 15 fights in a card, that means half the fighters are in the room with me. So I see on average 6 to 8, 6 to 7 fighters warm up at a nice, sometimes a little more depending if there's amateurs or whatever. So 90% of the time plus. And because I know a lot of the, once MMA is a small scene when you really break it down. And in New England, this is not it's a thriving scene, but there's only a few top schools, and we happen to be one of them. That, so you get to see people a lot. And 90% of people, 90% of the schools out there, and there's fucking quality schools out here in New England. It kind of surprises me that the quality of martial arts that's achieved in New England and Connecticut, I'm sure in other states too. I'm just really impressed being a hardcore martial artist that, I think it's New England where, even though our perception is these, whatever, how do I say it without saying, the white fucking cocky New England boys, Boston, all that, Connecticut smack in between. That's our impression. I think New England guys are fucking crazy, a little bit hungry. It was funny, we did a Whip the Warrior program here. It's now called Atla, Train Atla. I forget what they renamed it. It was a TV show. Oh shit, sorry guys. It was an Australian TV show that turned into a training program. And if you guys ever seen Cole in the videos or Wall or whatever, they all went through that program. It was a 20-week program, 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., 5 days a week. So Monday through Friday, 100 lessons. All right. Just about, I had 12 of them. This was during COVID. It was actually a rare time that people were actually doing things. But the Whip the Warrior people were like, who the hell, what's going on in New England? Why they were coming out of the work to do this stuff, and everybody wanted to fight. And it's I don't know. I always thought that was always I think every state has that group of that individuals are really fucking hungry, and maybe we just capitalized on it. But yeah, I just know there are a lot of hungry dudes out here and girls, and the martial arts is pretty good out here. I'm from someone who's traveled a lot for martial arts. I'm actually pretty impressed and happy to be part of it, and I guarantee it's been part of my development too. Okay, so Mitt Holding, got a little off topic there. So big pet peeve of the Mitt Holding is when I see, and what you see sometimes in these back rooms is when the mid holder is forcing the punches to be short. That the fighter never learns his range when they're mid holding. That the mitt is way too close to them. It doesn't represent the fighter, their opponent's face. It's not in the same level. It's just chaotic. It doesn't make sense. And that's like kind of when I was watching this person mid hold via video on Facebook. I was like, oh my god, the whole thing. It was a cringe factor. Excuse me. The punches are short. It was all about the mid holder. And then they did a takedown entry at the end. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It was like, I always felt bad for the fighter. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking shit. Okay, I know it sounds like I am, but I really try not to. But in reality, it's like I feel like this kid could have been better trained. But that's just my personal perception. That's how I think. I think I'm a good coach, and I try to be better coach every single day. And I know what I do wrong. Cause I see myself in video all the fucking time, and I'm like, God damn, you suck, Briars. Not really, but sometimes yes. Example, maybe you've heard me say this before. I saw an old video of me a few years ago, maybe a little longer, 5-6 years ago, whatever. And I was throwing a cross, a right hand punch. And I remember back in the day, I always had a problem with showing my elbow. It's like one of those things, right? It's just stupid, that guy who does that thing. And I saw myself showing a cross, teaching to my students. And I saw my elbow flaring. I saw how stupid I looked. I was like, God damn it. Excuse my language, but I was like, wow, you suck. Not suck, but like, come on, man. Like, fix your shit. So now it's like, I'm like obsessed with keeping that thing down when I throw my punch to be clean and even. So there's always things we need to work on. But yeah, if, you watch that mid-holding sequence, there wasn't one good punch thrown. I didn't believe any one of those things was a punch. There wasn't even a good block. It's not a block. What the fuck are we doing? We're dancing. We're doing I don't know. I understand sequence and combination, but that combination should not be my thought process. More than 4 or 5 beats. If you start adding 4 or 5 beats or combination, you're off in the woods. Now, a flow could be more 5 beats because that's an offense-defense relationship. I throw a jab, cross, level change, shoot. Okay, that was 4 beats. You sprawled, threw a whizzer in there, got back to your feet. Okay, then I came up, uppercut, left hook. The combination got separated. You know what I mean? So it breaks up a little bit. I guess that makes sense to you. I don't need to explain that. So yeah. So my thought, in closing on mid holding, if you are a teacher, a coach, don't make your students do mid holding. Make them work partner drills, offense, defense, my friend. It's the easiest way to train someone. It's like I'm giving you a secret right now. You don't even realize this. If you are a teacher, I'm giving you a cheat code to make your students good. Offense, defense relationships, and offense, defense, counter relationships. You can play with that in so many different ways by designated winners. We could talk about it, but you have to pay for information. Maybe. But seriously though, yeah, there's a lot of ways you can game martial arts. Offense, defense is much better. Mid holding should not be part of your class. Now, when you would mid hold is you have an advanced fighter or you are in a private lesson, and that's the best way for us to work with each other. It's sometimes hard working private lessons with jiu-jitsu unless the person knows what they're doing. If you know what you're doing, yeah, we can roll, we can have fun, we train jiu-jitsu together. If you don't know what you're doing, or I need to teach you new things, it's almost impossible to have, okay, I got to show you on him, or show you on me, then have you do it on me. It just doesn't work that way. So mid holding 101, absolutely. If you were an advanced fighter or an athlete, which this kid was who I'm referencing. But then as the mid holder, guys, think about the purpose. Think about the type of exchanges these boys or people are going to be having. And you guess what? You can literally watch videos and see the exchanges. You know what you're getting into to a certain degree. Drill that. Oh, one more stud martial arts, a guy I like a lot. Coach Barry Robinson. You probably heard me mention him before. I was talking about footwork and fight science. That guy, I like him a lot. Yeah, that's it, guys. Mitt Holding. Thank you for your time, Oos. And let me know what you think about live Matt in the car. I know you're going to say yes, but let me see how many people say yes. Yeah, that'll be the cool one. All right, Oos, thank you. Like, subscribe. Do the thing. I appreciate it. Later.